Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Carla and Crappy Show. We are mere days away from actual college football games, which means it's time to start the season, the 14th season of the Carla and Crappy Show. Carla?
Yes.
Our podcast is old enough to go to high school.
I know. Our podcast is older than my oldest nephew. Like, who was in high school, who was in marching band this year. Like, this is, we're not old enough to have been talking about college football on the interwebs for 14 years. It's not possible.
It is, I agree. It is an odd number to think about. I'm approaching lots of these odd numbers coming up here in the next couple of years, and it's just something I'm going to have to come to grips with. AJ, you have a child who is in that age range, not 14. But getting up there, what advice would you have for the care and feeding, based on that experience, the care and feeding of a 14-year-old podcast?
You're going to need a lot of snacks. You're going to need so many. You got to get the Costco membership.
Done.
We are hitting the point. We're hitting the point where, like, you can't be buying snacks at, like, in the regular boxes. You got to get the family size ones.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Okay.
Meat sticks, a lot of meat sticks.
Ooh, okay. I can do. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
not my favorite, but snacks are good.
Protein is what I'm going for here. So, just make sure you have protein.
I understand. Okay. Excellent advice. We appreciate that. Did you guys have a good summer? We're rolling into late August here, and there is football coming. But AJ? How was your off season?
Off season was good. It was somewhat quiet, which was good. I mean, the house settlement actually happened, and so now there's going to be legitimate payment of players. This was something that was briefly discussed last year, and the lawsuit was in progress, but it has now happened. I have a feeling you're going to see very soon changes to the way that colleges handle sports in general. For those of you who missed this completely, basically there was a lawsuit against schools and the ability to make money off of name, image, and likeness for students who previously graduated prior to those rules going into place. And there was a lawsuit, and the damages were effectively like lost earnings. The big thing that we now get out of this is, number one, colleges can now directly pay athletes. Just directly, money can go from school to student, which is a very different space. They are not employees yet. They are still student athletes, but they can be paid directly for that. And the effective salary cap is $20 million per school. And this was a big deal because there were a lot of schools and it's an opt-in. You do not have to pay students. You don't even have to pay all the way up to 20, but you can do that. But schools have to opt in or out each year. So for the first year, most schools are opting in, even if you look at their financials and go, why? They are actively going to opt in because they don't want to be seen as a curmudgeon or like, oh, we're not doing this and you can go somewhere else. They want to maintain their rosters. They want to maintain their student base. So they're opting in. But I think the big thing that we're seeing coming out of this is schools are going to have to say and make the choices that they would have quietly made in the past, which is, does this sport actually make us money? Does this sport actually do anything for us? And do we actually need to continue doing this because, well, the men's basketball team or the women's basketball team or the football team or whichever baseball team, whichever sport they want to invest their dollars into, we got to pay that team. And so this becomes I think there's going to be a culling. And there's a few things that come out of this potentially, one of which is U.S. Olympic status.
Yeah.
The U.S. Olympic Committee does not have to do nearly the work that every other country's Olympic Committee has to do because they have the NCAA and all of the sports that are in the Olympics have usual college programs to develop into. Like, look at gymnastics.
Yeah.
You can go look at the entire SEC, and most of those girls are coming out of, for the women's gymnastics and even men's gymnastics, the glasses guy from the Paris Olympics, Penn State kid, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have these schools that invest money into sports that then lead to U.S. Olympic success, but they won't be freely funding that anymore. See also the NFL, right? The NFL has had a free development league forever. So does the NFL have to kick in on these things? There's also still NIL is still very illegal, still very much a thing. So the question becomes, what they are going to do now, though, is say there's going to be a committee that is going to attempt to say whether NIL deals are good or not. It is no longer Johnny Chevrolet can pay an offensive lineman to come to the school anymore. And not ever put him in a commercial or anything like that. It's going to say, like, what services are being rendered for this payment. So some of this is going to change. Like, we had a real Wild Wild West situation. I think it's still pretty Wild Wild West, but we're getting a sheriff of some kind. So a lot of change happening there, but it wasn't the big name changes that we saw coming over the last offseason and all the realignment stuff. So stuff you'll see on the field, but definitely some big changes.
Okay. Carla? How was your offseason?
How was my offseason? Offseason was good. Lots of stuff going on. I mean, Ellie is. Can we all believe Ellie's going to be 4? How'd that happen?
We cannot.
Nope. Those are lies. Don't do that.
I know. She started pre-K this week. Like, how'd that happen?
I'm
but
logging
no,
off.
we stayed pretty close to Nashville this summer, which is unusual for us. I didn't make it back to see you all. I'm sorry.
It happens.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that maybe next spring. But ended up staying here. We took a trip out to Dollywood to go visit our Queen Mother. It was amazing. So we had a lot of fun out there.
Nice.
And otherwise, just kind of stayed close to home, kind of, twiddling my thumbs a little bit. Tried to watch some baseball. I know. I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I didn't even watch the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Like, I just couldn't get myself into it. And I was just like, I need my college football back. To the extent that, like, Ellie even started to say, when's football back? When can we watch football? So fingers crossed that she still has that thought when we start watching football a whole heck of a lot, starting very, very soon. But yeah, no, it was a good summer.
Okay.
How was yours?
Carla, remind me, I need to pick your brain on Dollywood because we're going for Christmas.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Yes, we can. We'll chat off air.
Yeah.
There are bears and there's an amusement park and some other stuff.
And a whole bunch of bald eagles.
Bald eagles, nice. Okay, that's cool.
They have a bald eagle sanctuary, and it was one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen.
Okay. I had a quiet off season as well, collecting some, not an obnoxious amount this time, but some Ohio State National Championship merchandise. Some Ohio University MAC champion stuff as well. I did sort of a low-key level celebrating last season, which I think has made me even more impatient for this season, even though it promises to be a very, very different thing. Let's start talking about football. We were actually taping this the week before what is week 0, and we just got AP polling this week, yesterday. Today's
yesterday.
We're taping this on a Tuesday. So a couple things just occurred to me, like right off the bat, comparing the writers' poll, the AP poll, to the coaches' poll, which was released a week ago, I think. The first thing that is noticeable, and obviously noticeable to the people here in this room on this podcast, the writers' poll has Texas, Penn State, and Ohio State in that order. The coaches' poll.
Oh yeah, the coaches' poll. Yeah.
Coaches' poll: Texas, Ohio State, and Penn State in that order. And I should note in the writers' poll, Texas and Penn State are really close. They are 1552 points to 1547, and 25 first place votes to 23. That's tight, but we'll come to that in a second. Did vis-a-vis Ohio State, Penn State, did the coaches get it right, or the AP get it right? AJ,
Is that coming?
AJ, what do you think?
It's the preseason.
I know, but we're required.
What are we doing here?
We are required to talk about this stuff.
All right.
I will absolutely stipulate that this conversation is completely meaningless. But I'm just curious about what you guys think.
I just like that Crappy is going to have to deal with the fact that Ohio State has to play the preseason number 1 and number 3 teams at some point this year. In fact, they start with week 1.
I will whine about that a lot next week, I promise.
Yeah, you can feel free to whine about it. Spoiler alert, I will not hear it. You scheduled the game, dummy. Don't do that. You have every ability to not do that. And yet. So this is a function that I'm seeing with also, I'm just trying to see, do we have who's the my thing whenever I look at these polls is always who is the team that got the bowl bump or got some sort of bump that seems like it makes them laughably high, and then it will not work out for them. And I'm looking at you, Illinois. I love you, Bert, but like, come on now.
No,
let's settle down.
Okay.
But I think the bigger story here is the top 10 between the two sides is the same. It's the same teams, and it's just the orders slightly shuffled. And the order will work itself out. In fact, I also think like Texas and Ohio State being 1-2 or 1-3 doesn't entirely matter.
No.
If they play a close game, it has zero impact. And congratulations, you were equal.
We will talk about that next week for sure.
But there's like, this is the same thing of like, anytime I see like a 1 versus 2 or like a top 5 matchup, if that game is ever played close, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The rankings don't get damaged. You are basically showing that these are somewhat equal teams, especially if it's like Ohio State and Oregon last year, where Ohio State lost by 3, and that was only because Will Howard slid too late. Like that game was a game-tying drive, and if he had slid and gotten down and they could have called a timeout, that's a field goal. That game is tied and it goes to overtime.
Yes.
And then what happens after that is whatever. But to me, that is nothing changes there. It's 1-2, and whoever won is the higher ranked team. So for this right now, I don't necessarily know that like either team got it right. Right now, I would put a little bit more on Penn State, just because I know more about them. Right. I know what I'm getting with Drew Aller. I know what I'm getting with the wide receivers. I know what I'm getting. Like, I know what I'm getting out of that team. Yep. I don't know what Julian Sayin is going to be for Ohio State. I know that Jeremiah Smith is incredible, and I know he can it's the old Matt Ryan's F it Julio down there somewhere. Yeah. That situation for Jeremiah Smith all season. But it's still a lot of unknowns, and I think putting Ohio State in front of Penn State is just more of a like name brand. They were the national champions. They're probably potentially more talented overall, but I know what I'm getting with Penn State right now.
Okay, Carla, who got that right?
Well, it tells me one thing. I like I said, I don't know who got it right, but here's what it tells me. It tells me that the coaches have as little faith in James Franklin as his fan base does.
Okay.
Like, why else would we? I mean, even with everything that went on last year, it was still always the knock that Jimmy hasn't won the big game. And even though he won big games, it was like, there was always a but. Yeah, but it was SMU. Yeah, but it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was a home game. Like it was just because the way the cards fell, that was the route that Penn State took through the playoff, losing to Oregon in the championship game, losing again to Ohio State in a game that they probably should have won, right? Like, so the reputation is still there. And there's a part of me that says the coaches are like, they're not convinced. They're not convinced that James Franklin can take them all the way. And so you give the benefit of the doubt to the defending national champions, right? That's what it says to me, is it's more of a perspective thing from the coaches.
Okay.
We'll see it all play out.
Absolutely.
I have a, like, to me, it's like 1, 2, 3, like Texas, Ohio State, Penn State are kind of, I almost see them as kind of separating out a little bit in the preseason.
Okay.
Like it seems to me like those are pretty clearly the three teams that are going to like start well. What order? Who knows? Doesn't matter. But I feel like those three have already separated a little bit, and then you have Clemson because who else is going to win the ACC? And
Yeah.
and then after that, it's kind of a mess. Right? There's a lot of teams that could be in that. It's a dogfight after you get to that point, and that's what makes it fun. But I think like those three teams, we're going to have a really fun triangle this season. Number of times that these teams intersect with each other as to how it's all going to play out. I have a really fun kind of like fanfic that I've kind of put together in my brain as to how this season. When we talk about our playoff brackets, I'll explain to you how it all plays out and how my number one team enters the playoff undefeated but doesn't win the national title. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
Knowing by the way, just to pull back the curtain on this production meeting real quick,
Yes.
I made the graphics for the bracket, so I know what Carla did here, and so I'm giggling to myself. Crappy, what's your feeling on this?
I think, and this has been my thought all off season, that Penn State should be the favorite team going in, and it's that they are on paper at this point a more complete team than Texas. Texas is ranked where they are because of one word, which is Manning. But we don't really know what the kid is going to do consistently, and he has to do it behind an offensive line that while I'm sure talented, is really inexperienced. I think 4 new starters. So and that was actually my second question: is Texas getting too much of a boost from an unproven quarterback? And I'll let you guys answer that in just a second. But I think the experience at quarterback, improvements on the outside, best running back tandem in college football, and a very, very, very good defense that's going to get better because Jim Knowles is going to make that happen because that's what he does. I'm comfortable being behind Penn State at this point in whatever preseason stuff is going on. But the thing is are we relying on Arch Manning too much to elevate Texas to the point where they are in the preseason?
I think it goes back to what AJ said a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, yes, the Manning factor, I mean, you can't deny the Manning factor. It's there. But also, Texas had Ohio State on the ropes.
Yeah.
Right?
They were a good team,
and
especially
I think,
defense.
Right. And their defense is solid, and a lot of those guys are coming back. And so I think you add in the Arch factor with a solid defense that's coming back and the last impression that they left on the field against the future national champion. I think that's what's giving them the bump.
Okay.
I think, and because if you've looked at Texas's schedule, it's easy.
There is that.
There's one test. There's really, other than the Ohio State game, there's one real test that I can see right now. Now, a lot could happen. I get that. Like, there could be a lot of things happening, but you look at that schedule and you're just like, I don't know how Texas doesn't end up in the SEC title game unbeaten.
Okay.
Like, I don't see an obvious loss. So I think that's part of it, too, because let's be real. The Big Ten schedule, doesn't matter what your schedule is, there's going to be some danger there.
Sure.
You know, and that's true for every team in the Big Ten. So maybe that's part of it as well. But yeah, I think it was last impression, Arch, schedule puts Texas in one.
Okay. AJ, am I completely wrong about this, or should I be bent out of shape about putting as much credence into Arch Manning as we apparently are?
No, I think Carla's point is very true there. Texas was right with Ohio State until the fumble. To the point where, like, if they don't fumble and they score a touchdown on that play, that game is tied.
That's tough. Yeah.
So you have a 14-point swing play off of a fumble. And I think this is where you have an entire offseason of Arch as the starter. You have an entire offseason of there's no more Quinn. There's no more like, are they going to start Arch? Is Arch going to No, he's there. He's the dude now. And I think this is where you see that pick up. And Carla, you're absolutely right. Their main test is Georgia in October, other than
Ohio State in week 1.
Hold on. That's last year's schedule. Internet, what are we doing here? For Pete's sakes, this is what happens when you rely on websites.
They go on the road to Athens on November 15th, and that's really their only test of the entire season.
Okay.
Let's not give that at Florida game in early October.
That's true. That one could be.
Especially as a look-ahead game before Red River.
Yeah.
And you get Georgia in mid-November. And then you got Texas A&M on the Friday after Thanksgiving. Like, I totally agreed. Like, after Ohio State, they get a bunch of cupcakes at home, which, great. So they could have beaten Ohio State, and then they get 3 cupcakes. So they go into the Florida game 4-0 with a top 10, with the top 5 win on their docket. And then they get Oklahoma, and that game literally who knows. Right. So I don't necessarily take a ton away from Texas right now, but it's also the preseason. Let the games happen, and it'll sort itself out.
The overarching point here is,
I see what you did there.
This does not. Thank you. This does not matter right now, and will indeed work itself out. Last year, AJ, you started a new tradition on the Carla and Crappy Show because it was something that was worth starting. Previously, it would have just been like which coach went where, but in this day and age, this game, where are they now, is an especially cromulent question to ask as we go into the season. So, AJ, take us through what you got.
All right, so we've got 3 categories. You two are going to play together. We have categories. We have coaches, quarterbacks, and schools.
That's terrible.
This is a family-friendly show, Crappy. Come on.
It is. I'm already making a note that I got to fix that.
So when I was going through it, and I track the coaching carousel every year, and most of the coaching things are this guy got fired, this guy left this job to go take that job, somebody else took his job, right? But we had some real fun names this year. Okay, we're going to start out nice and easy. Where is Rich Rodriguez?
Carla, do we communicate with each other?
I
before
guess.
Yes, you guys can play together.
That's going to be. It's going to be West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yep.
Yeah.
It is West Virginia. That is correct. That's why I started out nice and easy. I figured you two would know where that is. Do either of you know what the date is of the backyard brawl?
I do not.
It's September this year.
It is September. Does anybody remember a famous score in this rivalry?
19.
13-9.
13-9. Thank you.
Yes, the first Pitt, West Virginia backyard brawl under the new tenure of Rich Rodriguez is on 9-13.
9-13,
which was the score of the game that he lost, where they didn't go to the national championship, and he left to go to Michigan. So welcome back, Rich Rod. You're not dancing on TikTok. Would you like to continue with coaches or go to quarterbacks or schools?
I'm curious about the schools category.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's do schools.
Okay, let's go with schools. Where is UMass?
Ooh, I know this one.
Please.
In the MAC.
That's correct. UMass is in the MAC. So when you see UMass they're playing on Tuesday nights in the MAC, they're in the MAC. That's why.
In the Mid-American Conference.
So continue with schools or coaches, quarterbacks. What you pick here?
So you try quarterback?
Let's try quarterback.
Sure. We'll start easy here. Where is Carson Beck?
Coral Gables. He's at the University of Miami.
The U.
That is correct. He is at the U. Congratulations to Carson Beck. Real sorry about all those cars that were stolen from you, but congratulations to Carson Beck on your NIL deal. Coaches, schools, or quarterbacks?
You pick, Carla.
Let's do it. Coaches are hard, so let's do it. Let's get a coach out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, here's your second coach. Where is Scott Frost?
Is he back at UCF? Is that right?
That is correct. He is back at UCF.
Okay.
Would you guys like a fun thing to think about this season?
Always.
One, UCF's probably going to be pretty bad. Just a lot of transfers. They're probably going to be pretty bad. Does anybody have an idea of who his defensive coordinator is? It's somebody we know. It's somebody
it's got to be a name that we know, and
it sure is. It's a defensive coordinator who did not have a good time, and a lot of people blamed him for a certain West Coast team not being able to tackle.
USC.
Oh, yeah.
It is USC, and it was Alex Grinch.
There it is.
Grinch.
Which means Frost and Grinch. We got a Christmas team, baby.
He's a mean one.
The fighting
Grinch.
Christmas nights.
That's fantastic. I like that.
I love that.
Coaches, quarterbacks, or schools.
Let's try another quarterback.
Man, you asked for quarterbacks, and I have that here, but now I have to remember how to pronounce his name. Nico Imaleva, formerly of Tennessee. Where's Nico?
Nico, I'm leaving and going to UCLA.
UCLA.
That is correct, Nico. Welcome to the Big Ten. What a sentence. What a sentence. There's so many levels to that. He left Tennessee to go to UCLA, which puts him in the Big Ten. 2025, everybody.
And playing Ohio State again this season too.
Yeah.
That is correct. Bonus one there. Does anybody know who the quarterback was at UCLA who then transferred to Tennessee? Former App State quarterback.
Yeah.
If you're playing along in your car, scream at your radio.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Louder, if you can. I can't remember the guy's name.
Joey Aguilar.
That's
Joey
it.
Okay.
Which makes this not really, but the first trade in college football history.
Right.
It's actually not. I believe there's a long time ago, there was a coach that got traded for some fun. So I think
that's correct.
Yeah.
Like some players and money like in the 30s or 40s, something like that.
And a goat and a couple of
Yeah.
things.
And that's how the Cubs couldn't win the World Series.
Yes. Yes.
Coaches, quarterbacks, or schools. We have 2 more in coaches, 2 more in quarterbacks, and 2 more in schools.
You pick, Carla.
Schools. Let's do an easy one.
Let's do schools.
Hey, this might be a new one. Carla will probably know this. Where is Delaware?
Ooh, I do know.
Carla, where is Delaware?
On the east coast of the United States.
That is true. They're on the east coast of the United States. They have moved up out of FCS into FBS and are now in the CUSA.
Nice.
That is correct. And I am waiting the day that people tune in to a Delaware game and go, what do you mean they stole Michigan's helmets? It's going to happen. Look it up. Delaware helmets have they have the winged helmet with the colors too. By the way, it's not like a weird color combo. It's like very, very similar.
The Blue Hens? Blue Hens? Is that correct?
Fighting Blue Hens. That's correct.
Right. Nice.
They have killer gear on home field, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
That's a good collection.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. That's
that I can no longer wear because they're now a conference rival.
Helpful tip. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's why you wear shirts like the Pepperdine Waves, where you do not have to do that. They're never your conference rival. Except, actually, technically they are. As a Hawaii fan myself, they were part of the Big West. We'll get to that in a moment. Where?
Yes.
Let's go with a coach here. Let's go with where's Dan Mullen?
See, I have this in my notes already, but Dan has found the bright lights of Las Vegas at UNLV.
That is correct. Dan Mullen is at UNLV. I expect a fireworks factory, truly. I really do. I don't know whether that's going to be on the field or off the field, but I figure there's going to be a fireworks factory and it's going to go boom.
One way or another, it's bound to be glorious.
We have 1 more school, 2 more quarterbacks, and 1 more coach.
Quarterback?
That's 2 quarterbacks.
All right.
Where is longtime listeners will remember this person. Where is Tyler Van Dyke?
Oh.
He is still playing football, by the way, in college. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Is he at Duke?
Circulating that.
Not at Duke. He is in a playoff school.
He is in a playoff school.
Notre Dame?
No.
Not Notre Dame.
No, it's not Notre Dame.
SMU?
He is at SMU. Congratulations, Crappy. Tyler Van Dyke has transferred from Washington to SMU. Speaking of former Notre Dame quarterbacks, Drew Pine is still playing football in college, and he is currently playing football for your Bowling Green State Falcons.
Eddie George's Bowling Green State.
Eddie
true,
George's
yes.
Bowling Green
Yes.
Falcons.
Yes.
And so that there's one more quarterback. So we have one more coach, one more quarterback, one more school.
Carla, you pick?
I would say, should we just run them in order? One more coach? Let's do coach, quarterback, school
that
in that
works.
order.
That works.
Sure. Where is Bronco Mendenhall?
Oh, he went back Utah State.
That is correct. He is at Utah State. He will be playing in Maverick Stadium in Logan, Utah. He went home. I'm very happy for him. And I believe. Oh wait, no, that wasn't him. No, the other Utah school got Devin Dampier, who was the wonderful quarterback that he had in New Mexico. I believe he transferred with his OC to Utah. I am very excited for Devin Dampier, Utah. Our last quarterback. This one's a real reach, but Carla will potentially know this one.
Okay.
Carla, where is Anthony Chickett, former RMU quarterback?
Oh, God.
He is transferred up from FCS.
I remember he transferred up, but I don't remember where he went.
I was going to guess Carnegie Mellon, but if you said up, that's not going to work.
Up in terms of winning. Think the other side of the state.
He went to
The one in Philly.
Temple.
He went to Temple. Anthony Chickett, now a member of the Temple Owls roster. Hooty hooty you, sir. And our last school. Where is Missouri State? Carla should also actually know
I
this
know
one,
this
too.
one. Yep.
Do you? Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for
They're
it.
also in the CUSA.
Do it.
They're also in the
Wow,
CUSA, the front door of FBS, as many are calling it now.
Yes, it is. It's become that. But also, it's funny because it meant when Missouri State joined the CUSA, the Missouri Valley now no longer has any schools from the state of Missouri in it.
That is correct. That is because the Missouri Valley is named after the river, not the state.
Right. But
There's
still.
that. There is that.
I wanted to do more school stuff, but
Okay.
none of this happens until next year. So
Yeah.
if you're
There's
listening
a
to
lot
the
of-
show
there's a lot.
right now, I'm going to give you the answers to next year's school movement because we're really going to have to work hard on this, everyone. Going to have to work really,
It's gonna be
really
tough.
hard.
There will be quizzes.
So we have the Pac-12 is reforming into a fully functional 8-team conference. It is no longer the Pac-2. It will be the Pac-8, but it's the Pac-12 in name. So coming over from the Mountain West, you will have Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Utah State. Along with recently announced moving over from the Sun Belt, which was wild to see, Texas State is coming over from the Sun Belt, and they will be moving into the Pac-12 with Oregon State and Washington State.
Is
which
it a
means
prerequisite that that you must have the word state in your school name to join the Pac-12?
It might as well be, but that's a reminder that as long as you're in the Pac-12, you're in good hands. So it is the All-State School Conference. You will also see some movement as well next year, where coming from the CUSA, going to the Mountain West, is the beloved miners of UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso, which means congratulations, CUSA schools. You don't have to go to El Paso anymore. And coming over
playing
from the
Sun
MAC.
Bowl. Yes.
Yes, you do get to play in the Sun Bowl. And coming over from the MAC, neither mountain nor west, it is Northern Illinois.
I don't know what the
And-
hell they're doing. That makes I am bothered by that one more than any of the rest
Yeah.
that you've mentioned.
That one seems like the dumbest one of all. That's
does.
like
It really does.
Texas State going to the Pac-12 also doesn't feel great to me either. But like, all right. at least that you fit into the state thing. But
I need to let go of my antiquated notions that geography has anything to do with this anymore. But I struggle with that one.
And finally, one thing that I love more than ever is that Hawaii will be a full member of the Mountain West. Previously, they were a football-only member of the Mountain West.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, they were a football-only member of the Mountain West, and they had the rest of their conference affiliation was with the Big West, which is a non-football conference.
Right. Correct.
So they were Big West in basketball, and they played all the California schools.
Gotcha.
But what that means is something significant. And this was announced yesterday, so I'm very excited about this.
How so?
And that is prior to them becoming a full member of the Mountain West, they had their own TV deal. No one knows this. No one really pays attention to this sort of stuff. But Hawaii had their own little baby TV deal.
We talked about this last year. It was a thing with Spectrum, and if you were in the state, it cost a lot lot
It did. It cost like $400 to watch Hawaii football on local TV because it was all pay-per-view.
Talking about this. Yeah.
And so that deal actually paid Hawaii $3 million a year.
Nice.
Which is why they were able to be in the Mountain West for football and not get a full share because they were getting this $3 million TV deal from Spectrum Sports in Hawaii. Announced yesterday, for the first time in a very, very long time, all Hawaii home games will be on local television. No more pay-per-view. You can just watch Hawaii football in the state for free for this year. Okay. Next year, they will be part of the Mountain West, and the Mountain West is currently in the process of renegotiating their TV deal. So they will likely be part of the overall TV deal. So there were 6 games this year that would have been on Spectrum pay-per-view, but they will now be on regular TV. If you would like to watch Hawaii football, you do not have to download the Team One Sports app anymore. You download the Mountain West app or go to themw.com, and we will make sure to note when the Hawaii games will be on that. The Week 0 Hawaii game will be on regular CBS. So we're not worried about that one. So I'm very, very, very excited for them and the school and Hawaii fans who now don't have to pay $400 for pay-per-view, but they still want to sell out their stadium, which they do regularly. It's very small, but they still sell it out. So they are now trying to really ramp that up.
Do you have any idea what's up with the stadium renovation? Do you know where that is?
Ooh, I haven't checked in a while.
Okay. Not a big deal.
We'll do some real-time follow-up here, but carry on.
Excellent. Well, we spent just a few minutes ago talking about how pointless preseason prognostications are. And then we're going to do that right now, as we always do, as we are bound by the traditions and practices of sports podcasting, broadcasting, whichever. You have to pick your preseason favorites. We have submitted our bracket, the new streamlined format, straight seeds. So we have submitted those to AJ. AJ is aware of where everyone stands as far as who we're picking to win the national championship. What we will do, we have obviously each picked a 12-team field based on the criteria. We're going to read our respective 12-team fields by seeds, and then AJ will reveal what each of us has on our brackets for. I don't know if you're going to go through the whole thing or Final Four or whatever you want to, however you want to handle that is fine. But so this is hopefully going to be a little more suspenseful than it was a year ago when I was doing my brackets live, and there were many pauses and stuff like that. So
we forgot how brackets worked. I mean, by we, I mean me. I didn't realize. I forgot how brackets worked and what the rankings were. By the way, spoiler alert, I forgot again.
But so hopefully this time, and we have visual aids. So if you'll be able to see these on the Substack. If you're listening and you don't get to see this stuff the first time around. Who wants to go first? Carla? Who are your top 12 seeds?
Okay, my top 12 seeds entering the playoff. Should I go backwards? That
Sure.
would be more suspenseful.
Sure.
Let's go backwards.
We'll do the countdown thing.
Okay, so number 12, I have Boise because for one more year they are still the best Group of 5 team. So I have them getting in the last seed there. 11, Kansas State.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a really interesting Big 12 year, just like it was last year. K-State is going to be right in that mix. At 10, I hesitate to do this because I'm not convinced.
Okay.
I'm not convinced on several of these things, but Michigan at 10.
Okay.
I think they get in this year. 9, I'm even less convinced of. But like, okay, so last year, Indiana was the surprise, right? Like there was that team that got really hot, and like
Right.
I'm banking that we're going to have another one of those this year, and I think the team that's going to do it is Florida.
Okay. Okay.
They've got the talent to do it on paper. Can they pull it off? I don't know. They've got a stupid good schedule. That's a gauntlet. So they're going to have to play real well if they're going to make the playoff. But I've got them at 9.
Okay.
At 8, I've got Oregon. Lots of question marks there still. Not sure I love that seeding, but that was kind of where it played out in my brain. Number 7, your Big 12 champion for the second year in a row, Arizona State. Because I think they're going to make it back because other than Scatabo, like the entire team is back.
Right.
Like that's the only piece that they're really missing out of last year's really remarkable team. At 6, I've got Georgia. They've got lots of question marks too. But I see Georgia and Florida kind of dominating the East a little bit this year. At 5, I've got Notre Dame.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to be able to rebuild, and because I mean, let's be real, Jeremiah Love is one of the best backs in the country, and so that's going to be something to watch. Okay, now here's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Entering the playoff, number 4, Penn State. Number 3, Clemson. Number 2, Texas. Number 1, Ohio State.
No.
And here's why.
Okay.
You want to hear my little fanfic?
Sure.
Week 1, Ohio State bests Texas. I think they beat Texas at the shoe because I think Texas is still trying to figure things out. I know that Ohio State is also trying to figure things out, but as we learned last year, home field makes a difference. If this game was in Austin, I would think completely differently of this game.
Okay.
This game's at the shoe. It's Corso's last game. Like there's going to be so much momentum behind the Buckeyes in this game, and they're still going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. Let's be real here, friends. And I see Ohio State winning week 1.
Okay.
I see Ohio State because, again, they get Penn State at home.
They do.
In the regular season. That's not going to play well in its favor. Ohio State wins that game during the regular season.
Okay.
We end up with a Ohio State-Penn State Big Ten title game. Which, if that happens, we need to commit right now that we're all going to Indianapolis. Because that would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
But anyhow, if we get an Ohio State-Penn State Big Ten title game, I still think Ohio State beats them on the neutral field.
Wow.
So that means you got a 2-loss Penn State team entering the playoff, which is why they are number 4. 2 losses to the same team. Should I stop there? Before we go through the way the bracket plays out?
Stop there.
So that's why Penn State is at number 4. Is because they can't get over the hurdle against Ohio State. And I will pause my fan fiction right there.
Is this where you would like me to pop the bracket up or no?
No.
Let's you and I will go through our list. I will go ahead and take you through mine. And then AJ, you can wrap that up, and then we'll do the big reveal. Boise, I have at number 12. 11, it pains me to do this, but I think Kalen DeBoer is going to have a better year. I got Alabama at 11. I have LSU with experience at quarterback, getting in at number 10. Number 9 is Notre Dame. Jordan Love, they will continue the path that they've been walking for the last few years, and they will make the playoffs again this time. Arizona State at number 8. Ducks at number 7. Georgia at number 6. At number 5, I have Ohio State. I'm at this moment, Carla, I'm a bigger Penn State fan than you are. I don't.
Write that down. You can clip that.
No,
you
right
can
there.
clip that right now.
It is
you
recorded.
Can write that
it
down.
Is recorded. The red light is still on. No, I'm sold. I think they are in Penn State is in a position that this is an opportunity that has not come along recently, and I think I see good things for them, and I'm still my own fanfic. I'm trying to work out because I could see them. We talked about this last year, but I could see them playing 3 times.
I do too.
Okay, gotcha. 4 is Kansas State.
Ooh.
Big 12 champion, Kansas State. 3, the ACC champ by default, Clemson. 2, Texas. And number 1, Penn State. That's my
Crappy, is this the part where you and I did the same thing and we forgot that the seeding rules changed for this year?
Maybe. I don't. No,
Okay.
I didn't. I
No,
don't.
it's straight
I don't
seeds.
know.
Yeah, well, it's straight seeds. So if Kansas is if Kansas State is the Big 12 champion is number 4, great. I forgot.
Okay.
And so I just did the traditional seeding of the conference, the traditional seeding. We did it once, one time.
Back in the old days.
Back in my day.
I remember back when they used to do that crazy seating thing. 365.
So I forgot, and so my bracket's kind of goofy, but I'm going to live with it because I think I went a little more chaos than both of you did,
which is on brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of similarities there. We have
There's a lot of
same
similarities. In
teams.
fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to add a third one here because my number 12 was also Boise State.
Okay.
In my opinion, Boise State is the G5 champion until they aren't.
Yeah.
Like
Which is
I need
next
to-
year.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
they go out of the G5 next year.
No, they're still they could still be a conference champion. They're not a G. It is the top 5 conference champions, top 5 ranked conference champions, which means it could be the Pac-12 champion. It might not be. Who's to say?
True.
But the Boise State slot is theirs and may continue to be going forward.
Okay.
At number 5, I have Penn State for similar reasons to Carla.
Wait.
I got Penn State at 5.
12, 11, 10, 9.
Oh,
8.
sorry. I'm reading my bracket.
You're reading your
quite
bracket.
literally. Yeah. So number 12, I have Boise State. At number 11, I have Ole Miss.
Okay.
I don't know why. It felt right. I was like, not Alabama, because I started to do the same thing Crappy did, which was to slot in Alabama at 11, because why not? And then I was like, no, Ole Miss, sure.
Okay.
Somebody else, not Alabama. That was just me. That was just a personal feeling. At number 10, I have Georgia Tech. I see Georgia Tech. They played incredibly well. They had Georgia on the ropes.
They did.
If not for Kirby Smart, by the way, the rule where he took the timeout every single overtime period, they killed that. He
killed him.
Yeah. So did everybody else, which is why the rule is now in place where you get a new timeout every 3 periods or something like that. You don't get
good.
one every time.
Nice. I like this.
I forget what it is, but you don't get one every time, Kirby. So I hope you chose right. Anyways, Georgia Tech at number 10. They bring back a lot of people, not everybody, but I feel like Brent Key's got that program rolling in the right direction. And number 9, I also have Arizona State because Arizona State does bring back everybody except Cam Scatabo. The backup running back was actually really good. He just wasn't Cam Scatabo. But he's back too.
Okay.
Sam Levitt is their quarterback. He's fantastic. I see Arizona State having another uplifting year. Also, Kenny Dillingham was not happy with the way they practiced the other day and went off in a post practice. How do you think they practiced today, coach? He's like, bad. They practiced terribly today. They practiced fine if you're a bad team. They did not practice to our level. He's like, listen, what I told him, I was like, listen, somebody's got to go 3-9. Is it going to be you? And like, that's the level of salt and vinegar. I'm not saying other words. I know the children's salt and vinegar that I need out of my coach. So Arizona State, you're at number 9. At number 8, I have Oregon. Again, same sort of thing. It's like Oregon has this like crazy high talent level, but they have Dante Moore, who transfers up from UCLA, who could be really good, might not be really good. Who's to say? And I could see that potentially not working out, even though he was a 5-star coming out of college or coming out of high school. And it was a big get that UCLA got him. Chip recruited him to UCLA, and then he didn't do anything there. At number 7, I have Notre Dame. It is hard for me to put Notre Dame, not put them in the playoffs. But if you go take a look at their schedule, they play Miami in week 1, they play Texas A&M in week 2, and then they play absolutely no one the rest of the year. So, do they have a lot of toast up games on that schedule? 1,000,000% they do. Pitt's on that schedule. But this is the sort of thing where like Notre Dame could very easily like go 2-0. Let's say they lost to Northern Illinois last year and made the national championship game. Who cares? So to me, I look at Notre Dame and I see it's very hard for me to keep them out based on their schedule. At number 6, just like Crappy and Carla, I also have Georgia. Georgia, again, it's the same thing as Oregon. You have a talent level that's up here. And we'll get to what I think of Georgia later. At number 5, I have Penn State. I think Penn State does lose that game in October, and they're still good. They still get a home game, but I don't think they crack that top 4. Mostly because I forgot about the top 4 ranking thing. And so my actual 1 through 4 are conference champions. And so number 4, and this is where the chaos really goes off. Hi, Texas Tech. What you doing up here?
I thought about that. I thought hard about that.
Texas Tech is a very, very interesting like a literal athletics program right now. They just made the college softball World Series because they paid a pitcher a pile of money to come play for them. They put a whole bunch of money into the team to the point where somebody dug up the tweet. It was a tweet where somebody tweeted at some booster who was like super pissed off. And they were like, well, why don't you just buy us a new O-line? He said, all right. And then he did. He NIL'd an entire O-line. So there's a lot of money coming into the program right now. By the way, that big booster on the committee, I think it's a congressional committee or a like executive committee with Nick Saban on how to reform college athletics. So
that's going to go well.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go well for him. So there, I have them at number 4. I find it incredibly interesting for that. Like the Big 12 is going to be the Big 12. We will be doing the same thing we did last year, which is we're just going to see what the Big 12 will do to itself. I listened to a preview of the Big 12, and there was a guy who follows the Big 12. It is his job to follow the Big 12. He's like, I got like 6 different schools that I could absolutely see winning this. There's no.
The Big 12 buffet is open in 2025, friends.
The Big 12 buffet is just open as it can be, baby.
It's just a little pricier than it used to be.
Right.
At number 3, I also have Clemson, and not because somebody has to win the ACC. Clemson actually returns the most production of any team in the country.
They do,
and
I just hate talking about it.
I hate talking about them too, but little old Clemson might have a thing or two coming up their sleeve. I don't know what else to say there, but I do think that Clemson, number 1, is probably going to win the ACC, but they also have the returning talent to make a deeper run. At number 2, I have Ohio State. At number 1, I have Texas. That could flip-flop at some point in the season. Now, would you like me to start with the bracket reveals?
Yes, please.
Sure, let's do it that way.
I will start with the bracket reveal, and then we'll go to Carla, and then we'll finish up with Crappy. So, on my big board here, I have.
Look at that!
Yeah,
wow.
Team colors and everything, or at least I tried to do team colors. I might need to resize this window because this little arrow annotate thing is in the corner. But whatever. I have Boise State has to go to Happy Valley. Sorry, Boise. Real sorry about that, friends. Enjoy that one. Penn State wins. Arizona State goes to Oregon. It doesn't rain in Autzen, and that's fine for Arizona State, a team from a desert. Arizona State wins. Ole Miss goes to Georgia. Georgia remembers last year. Georgia wins. Georgia Tech plays Notre Dame. I think that's going to be an absolute blast of a game.
Ooh, that would be fun. That's a good one.
Right? Yeah. That one's got like 1942 written all over it. This is pre-war.
Exactly.
This is some real pre-war football is what we're going to see there. And I still see Notre Dame winning, which then sets up, I don't remember what the bowl tie-ins are, but Texas Tech and Penn State. Texas Tech, you got to the dance. Your dance card gets emptied very quickly. Penn State wins. Texas sees Arizona State again. It says, kill it with fire. I don't want to do that again. And beats Arizona State. Clemson plays Georgia. Clemson, your returning production got you here. But Georgia's mad. They feel disrespected. They feel like they got left behind, that they had to play another SEC. They had to play a bonus SEC game just to get here. So, no, they're going to be so mad, and they beat Clemson. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Rematch of last year's national championship game.
Bring it.
It goes the same way. So we now have Penn State and Texas. And I'm putting Penn State over Texas again because Arch Manning, bright lights, doing what his uncles would do from time to time, which is just craps himself and forgets. So, sorry. It's his uncles, not his dad, because his dad didn't make the league. So shout out to Chris Manning or whatever his dad's name is. But I'm sorry, Arch, you'll get him next year. Penn State wins. Georgia plays Ohio State. Georgia wins.
Tough one. Okay.
I think Georgia is coming in with something special. And in the national championship game, Georgia also beats Penn State to put a third ring on Kirby's finger. And why do I believe this? Because who's playing quarterback for Georgia this year?
Gunner Stockton.
It is Gunner Stockton. Yeah. Stockton Gunner. They have a Georgia-ass quarterback who is going to start a Hyundai dealer in the year 2025. He's starting it now. He could do it now. He could do NIL. He could start the name of the dealership now. Gunner Stockton's putting a third ring in Georgia, and so you would have Stetson Bennett and Gunner Stockton. Also, Gunner Stockton is from Tiger, Georgia. Way up in the northeast counties of Georgia. He is from the holler. He's fine. That's what gives me the bit there. So
quick story. I'm not going to name her. She's a longtime Pittsburgh Twitter person. She's and is a neighbor of ours and a graduate of the University of Georgia. And at some, I don't remember at what point in the season last year where this happened, but Stockton was playing as Georgia's quarterback while Dieter moped on the sidelines. And she was tweeting or threading, or I don't remember which platform, to the effect that, like, good, we have a true Georgia kid running our football team. And I'm like, where's he from? And she's like, he is from the sticks. He could not be more Georgia if he tried. So that I'm basing this on my interactions with one single Georgia fan, but clearly the support of the Georgia fan base is all in on Gunner Stockton.
Yeah, he is a Georgia boy. He is a lifted truck as a person. It's fine. Carla.
Yes.
Reveal.
Okay.
Your bracket.
So here's mine.
Okay.
So we start with Boise at South Bend, which would be a really fun game. Actually, as I started putting this together, I was like, all these games would be so much fun. I really want them to happen. So Boise goes to South Bend, does not end well for the Broncos. Notre Dame advances. Florida, Oregon would just be a delight. Get the points machine going for that one.
That could be fun, yes.
Florida has to go to the most West school.
Yeah.
They have to actually travel to go to a game. They'd have to play this in Autzen. Yeah.
They would. They would play this in Autzen. I don't know. Like I said, my gut says that Florida can put the pieces together and give us a run this year. So sure, what the heck? Let's put Florida in over Oregon, because Oregon has a lot of question marks. Like, we really don't know who Oregon is at this point. Right. So sure, Florida over Oregon. K-State goes to Athens to play Georgia.
That's
That
a
would be a
tough draw.
really fun game, but
Yeah,
I've got
could be.
Georgia. And I love this game
Congratulations
too.
to Kansas State in this scenario, playing in both Dublin and Athens. Good job.
Nice, nice.
Nice. And then Michigan traveling to the great confines of Arizona to play the Sun Devils. What the heck? Give me the Sun Devils. Like we knew they were good last year. I think they could. I think they could beat that Michigan defense. So you end up with a 4-5 game of Penn State Notre Dame. That's a rematch. And guess who's going to be real mad about the way that game ended? We
Okay.
are. Ohio State gets
That was
Florida.
nice. That was nice, by the way.
Thank you.
We are.
Ohio State gets Florida. This is like old school, like BCS game. What this feels like. I think Ohio State can beat Florida. I think their defense is good enough to slow them down. Clemson, Georgia, please, yes, God, give me that game. I would love that game. I think Georgia wins. And then Texas, Arizona State, same as AJ, having those two teams meet again. And like AJ said, Texas is like, nope. Not having that again. So we end up with the semifinals of Penn State, Ohio State, and Georgia, Texas. And this is where the fanfic comes back in because we talk about this every year.
Can I add to this fanfic real quick?
Sure.
Did you do this where you have a rematch of the Big Ten title game? And theoretically, based on these rankings, this is a rematch
Probably.
of the SEC title game
Probably.
too?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it was just kind of the way that it played out, but like, who are the top two teams? Who are the top two conferences in the country right now? Like that to me makes sense that we end up with
Okay.
with rematches, or that all four semifinal teams are from the Big Ten or the SEC. That just in my brain that made sense. Penn State, Ohio State get the rematch in the semifinals, and like I said, it's tough to beat a team twice in a season. It's real tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. And I think the third time is the charm for the Knits.
Okay.
So go 1-2 against Ohio State and yet still find their way to the national title game. I think Texas can beat Georgia. I think by that point in the season, they would have everything put together. We'll know if Texas is a legit team. We end up with they're 1-2 in the poll right now. I have them as 4-2 entering the national title game. And I'm doing the thing that fans should never ever do, and that is picking your team to win a national title, because it's like you live with that pressure all season long. But if Penn State's going to win a national title, it's going to be this year. It's going to be this year. So what the heck? I'm all in. We are.
I like it.
Crappy.
Okay.
Crappy gets to follow that up by doing the literal opposite. And
I look at schedules and just kind of a feeling about how things will work. And I do think I do think Ohio State and Penn State are going to play 3 times. I think Ohio State wins its opening game against Texas. The regular season game is a tough one, because it's in Columbus. And it's already been designated as as a I think that's a blackout game. I'm not sure, but there's already a target on that game. But meeting in the Big Ten championship on a neutral field, I would have Penn State at this point winning that game, knowing what I know about each team. So that's sort of how the fanfic that I'm following here. We start with Boise State and Columbus. That's not going to go well for Boise State. Notre Dame and Arizona State, a contrast of styles, and I like Sparky here to advance. Alabama's return to the postseason is short-lived, cut short by the Bulldogs. LSU and Oregon, tough one. I think this could go either way. I'm gonna go with the Ducks, but I think that is a fun game that I would love to be able to see. K-State, Ohio State. As I will explain, I am all in on K-State getting to the playoff this year. I hope they enjoy it to this point. Penn State, Arizona State, as I've been saying, Penn State's the best team in the country, top to bottom. They will handle Arizona State in the second round. Clemson and Georgia. Did all three of us have this game at some point?
We all had this.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's pretty much got to happen. It pains me to say, and I was dismissive earlier of Penn State winning the ACC because no one else is going to step up and do it. But that's going to be a good team this year. So I have them over Georgia, Texas over Oregon, setting up a semifinal game, Ohio State and Penn State. And maybe we're alternating here. Maybe Ohio State wins in Columbus, Penn State wins the Big Ten title, and this one, wherever it is played, goes in Ohio State's favor. I think whatever happens with the quarterbacks, will be solidified at this point. I would like Ohio State's position at that point. Clemson and Texas, again. A mutual friend, Jim Shireman, always never trust a Manning, and that applies here.
Manning. Yep.
Never trust a Manning. Ohio State and Clemson, and I absolutely cannot pick Clemson to beat Ohio State. I am incapable of doing it. Therefore, the Ohio State Buckeyes repeat as national champions, as silly as that sounds, and kick off a dynasty that will last for ages.
We shall see.
Maybe not.
We shall see.
Maybe not that last part, but yeah, that is a one version of what might happen this season.
I'm also looking at Crappy's bracket, and I'm saying to myself, okay, you know how the quarterfinals are the bowl games, the New Year's Day bowl games. Mm-hmm. So, congratulations, Arizona State. You're going back to the Rose Bowl because there's not a shot that Penn State is not picking the Rose Bowl as their playoff as their quarterfinal game.
100%.
Texas will take the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Jerry World. Then Clemson would take the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Okay. Which means Kansas State, Ohio State, and Miami in the Orange Bowl, because that is the last that's the last game. And then you would probably have it's the Fiesta and Peach are
Fiesta
the semifinals this year.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm good with it.
I thought it was very interesting how many of the bowl commissioners and everybody were like, no, we have to keep these bowl games. The like neutral site games, whatever. But everybody last year was like, I'm sorry, these on campus playoff games were so good.
Yes.
They were so much fun. The crowds were so hype. Why are we not doing that all the time? And yeah, I'm interested to see how much money the Bulls have to throw at the TV networks to keep that process going. Because if they don't, well, you see, I wonder how many fans of each school are watching on ESPN and their family networks. So I think ESPN picked up the CFP for the next 7 years or something like that.
Something like that.
So,
yes.
Yes. This is just so we're all clear. Yeah. It is August 12th. We have no idea what any of these teams are going to do. Okay. We're just making names and thoughts. So if you try to freezing cold take us and be like, you said that Clemson was going to make the playoff and they didn't even win the ACC. Don't do that.
No, just
don't do that. Log off. Just log off. It's okay.
For entertainment purposes only.
This is not gambling advice.
No, this is not.
No.
And we've never.
You should never gamble off of anything we say.
Remember
not once.
The tagline for the show, boys and girls, come back next week and see how wrong we were. We're going to have an opportunity to do that right now because there are actual football games on the horizon on Saturday, August 23rd. A whole day. You could sit in front of the couch from noon until the Hawaii game is over and have a fantastic experience because college football is back. We are going to go through these as we do. if I remember how we formatted these and all that fun stuff. So, Saturday, August 23rd, starting at noon on ESPN from lovely Dublin, Ireland. And this is cool. We start off with a ranked-on-ranked game. Number 22, Iowa State versus number 17, Kansas State. K-State is favored by 3.5 points. The AJ Fun Index is a relatively brutal 49.5. We've got one for you, AJ, this week, I promise.
I see it. I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought you would. AJ, what do you think about this one, then?
I mean, starting the season with a ranked-on-ranked Farmageddon in Dublin, Ireland. Thank you, football gods. This is what we needed.
Yep.
A reminder, just real quick, that I believe the last game that Iowa State and Kansas State played last year in the regular season was also Farmageddon.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe
they
that's
went
correct.
from playing. It was the last game in November. Iowa State played Kansas State in November. Then Iowa State played in the Big 12 title game against Arizona State. So yes, the last regular season game for both of these teams was themselves. So Farmageddon is forevermore, and I hope that they have a wonderful time in Ireland. A reminder that weird stuff has happened in Ireland. Northwestern won that game and then did not win a game in North America the rest of the year. FSU lost to Georgia Tech, and we were like, uh-oh, something might be wrong with the Seminoles. And then it was very wrong with the Seminoles. So, well, you see, this is a very interesting game. And if two of the three hosts of this show have just said that Kansas State is making the playoffs, I have a pretty good indicator of what they're going to say about this game. But I think this is going to be the best game of the day by far. It's the one where we know the most. A lot of returning production on both sides. But, Carla, what did we just say about the Big 12? The buffet is what?
The buffet is open.
It's open.
The buffet is open, which means we actually don't know anything about this game. Give me the Cyclones. Sure.
Carla, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that thought did cross my mind, even though I had K-State in the playoff. That Iowa State is that team in the Big 12 that just likes to meddle. Like, they are the meddlers in the Big 12. They have that reputation. And is this a meddling game? It absolutely could be. But I mean, like AJ just said, add everything that you just said, Farmageddon, week 0 in Ireland. Let's add playoff and conference title implications to the mix in week 0. What the heck? Why not? Let's go.
Game 1, week 0, playoff implications.
Right?
Yes.
I love it. Let's freaking go. So, like, whoever said that about Farmageddon? No, it's K-State is gonna be good this year. They just Avery Johnson just really needs a more solidified O-line in front of him, and it might be there. It might not. We don't know. They transferred in a bunch of kids to kind of rebuild that O-line. How are they going to gel? We'll find out in Ireland, apparently. But we do know that K-State's defense is really good. They're returning a lot of starters. They dominate in the trenches. Like, that's where K-State thrives defensively. Secondary is a problem. It might still be a problem this year, but when you're playing Iowa State, it's probably not really that much of a problem, because that's not really what Iowa State's going to do. Iowa State's not going to air raid you, right? Rocco Becht, there's one of the best quarterback names in all of college football. I love that
Without
name.
question.
He's back again with the Cyclones. But he only completed, this is a fun stat, he only completed slightly more than 50% of his passes last year. Rocco, you got to improve on that, buddy. If you're going to actually kind of be in the cards here. And he's playing with all new receivers. It's an entirely new receiving core. So, and with lots of questions on defense, it's going to be a slugfest. This is not going to be a shootout by any stretch of the imagination. A slugfest in Ireland. Give me the Power Cats.
Okay. I am just Iowa State closed the season pretty well, winning 4 or 5. AJ, you mentioned they lost in the Big 12 title game, won what I remember being a fairly entertaining game against Rutgers in whatever bowl game that was. No, that was Kansas State. Do I have that right? I don't know. Anyway, but I with AJ Avery Johnson's experience, that is an untested offensive line. I think he's mobile enough. Certainly, he's the starter for like the fifth or sixth year in a row. So he's going to have a handle. He's not going to get rattled. Even if Iowa State is it's kind of balanced, well coached self. I think this is the start of a nice run for Kansas State, and the Power Cats will take this one pretty in a pretty entertaining game. At 4 p.m., and AJ, you might be able to help me with this. I found a reference to the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network, available on YouTube TV and or Fubo.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those like gambling networks.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a look at our true source of truth,
Please do.
the real story here. This has Idaho State at UNLV is still TBA on LSUfootball.net, which is the only truth of TV knowledge that exists on the internet. Don't at me.
Yeah, don't.
They're still saying TBA. I would not be surprised if this ends up on themw.com, THEMW.com, the Mountain West Network.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a few games that pop up in the early part of the year. I remember watching, was that the COVID year? Maybe the year after that. Well, I remember watching like UTEP and New Mexico on like local TV. I went to the local TV station's website and watched the game.
Nice.
Delightful, by the way.
Nice.
Like it had the like production quality of a high school football game. So yeah.
Okay, sure. AJ, as long as you're going, you've set me up here perfectly. Iowa State at UNLV. No lines exist. No gambling information. What do you got?
Idaho State is from our beloved Big Sky Conference. But Idaho State is not one of the good ones. They're an okay team, but they are not one of the better teams.
The name does not end in Dakota.
No, Idaho Heavy made the playoffs,
Yes.
and their coach is now at New Mexico. But Idaho State has always been like little brother, like Boise's big brother, Idaho's little brother. If you're an Idaho fan, I'm really sorry I just said that. Do not find my family. And then Idaho State. Don't play games with Boise State and Idaho fans. They get real mad about that one. And then Idaho State is like the little brother that's being held off. Like they're like the head is on the hand and the kid's like swinging away, but he can't get any closer because just hand on the head. Idaho State is fine. UNLV should be okay. But yeah, please sort out whatever random channel you're going to find in your YouTube TV or Fubo package. This game's probably going to be on the Mountain West Network though.
And we can update that on our Substack when this stuff is published, if we find out later in the week where this might be televised. Carla, what do you think about this one?
Well, yeah. So other than like all the coaching changes at UNLV, which probably accounts for this fun fact, courtesy of our friends at Athlon, UNLV has two returning starters total on both sides of the ball.
Right.
That seems low.
Right.
That
seems real low.
And I'll steal from AJ here. My notes actually say, fortunately for the Rebels, Idaho State isn't exactly one of the top FCS programs. The Rebels should win this game. If this was another FCS program, this would be one of those ones to circle, right? But I don't think Idaho State is up for the challenge. Rebs.
Again, if the FCS team ends with a Dakota or something like that, or then maybe we're concerned. I am annoyed with Dan Mullen, who had to go get another coaching job and leave ESPN's College Football Final, which is I watch, like, that's like one of two non-actual game broadcasts that I watch on ESPN. Everything else is garbage at this point. The other is Game Day, which I will continue to watch because the ESPN's annoying and ethically problematic guy is not as bad as the annoying and ethically problematic guy that Fox just hired. So that's where I'm gonna.
But Fox already had Urban Meyer.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on Mr. Tavern Furniture guy. I have no idea who they're going to get to take Dan's place with Matt Berry and Joey Galloway, and that doesn't really have anything to do with this game, which should be a relatively easy win for the Runnin' Rebels. Is the football team the Runnin' Rebels? Do we still call them that? Or are they?
Yes.
Okay. Sort of an intriguing game. The line would suggest otherwise, but at 6:30 on Fox, Fresno State at Kansas. The Jayhawks are favored by 13.5 points. The AJ Fun Index is marginally better, 50.5. Carla, what do you think about this one?
This game feels like a rock fight to me. Like it just playing. I mean, maybe it's because it's rock chalk, but whatever. Like it's just this game doesn't. We don't know a lot about either of these two teams. Fresno is in like total rebuild mode this year. Totally new coaching staff for them, new offensive faces. The one thing that we know for sure about Kansas is that Jalen Daniels is back, and he's a quarterback that has shown some moments of brilliance even at Kansas, which is saying a lot. I mean, like
can quarterbacks get tenure? Is that a thing? He's been there that long.
I don't know all the I mean, all the rules are changing, so maybe.
Okay.
Who knows?
Just curious.
So the fact that Jalen Daniels is back at quarterback, that alone makes me pick Kansas State in this game, especially with them playing at home. So yeah, rock chalk.
Okay. AJ, what do you think?
This is actually a not small game for Kansas. This is the opening of their stadium. They played on the road all last year. They played at Arrowhead, where the Chiefs play, and they played at Sporting KC's soccer stadium last year. So this is the opening of the renovation. I think this is going to be a big deal for them. Fresno, I need to see some things from Fresno. They did not look like the normal Fresno last year. Jeff Tedford stepped down to health reasons, and we wish him the best. But Fresno is not the same Fresno that you think they are. They are not the Jay Kane or Fresno. This could be a good opening salvo to see if they've improved on anything. But I expect Kansas to go here.
Okay. A absolutely miserable start kept Kansas from reaching the postseason, reaching a bowl game last year. But there was a 3-game winning streak in November. All 3 ranked teams. That's like okay. We're setting something up here that could carry over into the coming season. We mentioned Jalen Daniels, who I think. If I remember this right, I think the actual number is this will be his 6th season as a quarterback at Kansas. That kind of experience is impressive, and I can't imagine that it won't translate on the field. Rock Shock Jayhawk is the pick here. Next up, for the first time we get to mention this season, 7 p.m. on CBSSN, the
Network of Champions.
The Network of Champions. I was muted. We're not. It's week 0. All right. We're not in mid-season.
We're fine. We're fine. Yeah. We got some kinks to work out. No worries. Sam Houston State at Western Kentucky. Western is favored by 10. AJ, the fun index is 60.5.
Don't tell me what a good time. Don't do that. Don't.
What do you besides the dazed happy feeling that just sort of came over your face? What do you think about this one?
We have a small problem, and that is that Casey Keeler, who was the head coach at Sam Houston State, left to go to Temple. Which everybody was like, "What the heck? Why would that guy go to Temple?" It's because he's from the Delco area. He's like a Philly, New Jersey, Delaware guy. He's not a Texas guy by any stretch. So good to see him go home. I hope he does really cool things with Temple. They deserve to have something there, and they just don't for various reasons. Western Kentucky is still very good, and they are still one of the best funded programs in the G5. them and Boise, and there's a few other. Arkansas State weirdly pays a lot, puts a ton of money into their program. I think Western wants to show very early that they are up and running. By the way, bonus, where are they now? Question: where's Phil Longo?
It's in my notes. I can't cheat.
I do not know.
Phil Longo is now the head coach at Sam Houston State. So if you're wondering the Wisconsin offense that was bad and they couldn't really get anything going there, he's taking his talents to Sam Houston State. So I don't expect Sam Houston to do well out of the gate here. Not because I think Phil runs a bad offense or anything like that, but it's one of those new coach, a lot of transfers. So Western, a much more stable program. Sure. So give me Big Red. Okay.
Carla,
Yeah,
are you able to pick the Hilltoppers?
I'm technically not supposed to, but I'm going to in this game, and here's why. So first of all, a CUSA conference game in week 0. I love it. Western again predicted to be in the mix for a conference title. Predicted to be great up there, but wow, there are a lot of unknowns for the toppers this year. Just 3 returning starters, had a lot of kids transfer out or graduate out. But here's the thing, like Tyson Helton has done this before. Like when situations like this happen, he goes and pulls kids from FCS and brings them in. And he did the same thing again in this offseason. There's a lot of players on his roster that were FCS kids last year. And he has had a lot of success doing that. Can he do it again? It's still a better known entity at this point than anything that's going on at Sam Houston. Because brand new coaching staff, an entirely new defense, because literally the entire defense, I don't remember where their defensive coordinator went, but like the entire defense transferred with him. So they're gone. Like Sam Houston's entire defense is gone from last year. And so there's just a lot of unknowns in that program. I'll take the known entity in Tyson Helton to pull out a win, especially playing at home. Will Western be at the same level that they've been in previous years? I don't know. That remains to be seen as to how these young kids and these FCS players settle into FBS football. But yeah, this is a win this week for Western, and then we'll see how they play in the rest of the season.
Okay, that's fair. I'm hoping for many points. I am hoping, Carla, for your sake, I am hoping that the Hilltoppers lose. I don't expect that to happen. I think Western is clearly the pick here, but I'm on your side. So, gotcha, right there, no problem. And then finally, at 7:30 on CBS, Stanford at Hawaii. Our beloved Bows are favored by 2 points. The AJ Fun Index is 53.5. I'm going to go first on this one. Carla, then you're going to go. AJ, you get the last word on this game because. If this is, for the time being anyway, if this is literally any other sport, I'm picking Tree. That is what it's what Tree does. Tree beats your brains out with at rhythmic gymnastics, but it's a season opener, and it's on Oahu and Hawaii, and it's their favorite at home, and there is no freaking way I am picking against Hawaii in that situation. Let's go Bows. Carla, what do you think?
How do I choose? Like, these are like our two teams. Like in the 14-year history of the Carla and Crappy show, we have our beloved Bows and we have the Stanford postulate.
Yes,
like those are the two things that have held here, right? And they're literally picked next to each other in the Athlon preseason. Literally, Hawaii is number 98, Stanford is number 99. They are literally right next to each other in the preseason rankings. So here's my statement about this game.
Yes.
If the Stanford postulate holds true in 2025,
you should refresh our readers as to what the Stanford postulate is.
The Stanford postulate is Stanford always does the opposite of what they should do in a particular football game. So if they should lose the game, they go out and they win the game, and vice versa. So based on where Stanford plays football right now, when you're looking at the talent level between a Stanford program and a Hawaii program, this on paper is a game that Stanford should win. So give me Hawaii at home. The Stanford postulate holds true in 2025.
I like it. AJ, your beloved Bows are on national television week 0.
That's right.
What do you got?
Now, number one, I wanna be very clear about this.
Yes.
They're on national actual national television.
Actual,
this is CBS
This is not
proper. This is over the air Hawaii content.
Yes.
Number one. Number two. This game is at 7:30. If you would like to watch an entire Hawaii football game, now's your chance. Okay?
Excellent point.
Your opportunity.
Don't yell at me and say, it's hard to watch Hawaii football. They play games at midnight. This game's on at 7:30. This game will be over before Matlock comes on.
I am definitely, folks.
The new one.
I am watching. I am staying up and watching this entire football game.
Live in Tennessee. It's on at 6:30.
There you go. There you go.
Boom. The other thing that I loved is that for the last few years, Hawaii has had a fairly steady quarterback presence. Who in my CFB 25 run, we did make a bowl off of his arm. But I will say, towards the end of the season, your boy had to go to the running game, like a lot.
Okay.
Did I throw 7 picks in one game? Yes, I did. And I'll do it again. Okay. Did he have 5 touchdowns, 450 yards, and also 5 interceptions? Sure did. Did we win that game? Yeah, we did. But had to step up to the running game. One thing I will say, though, and this came out in the last game of the season last year, which was a game against. It had Mountain West playoff implications, if I recall, and Micah Alahado, who was the backup last year, played the last game of the season because the starter was hurt, and I'm blanking on the starter's name right now. And he balled out. It was so fun. I was watching him drop dimes on people. I was like, where's this kid been? And if I look at the roster, he is still a red shirt freshman. This is updated as of August 4th. He is a redshirt freshman. Pafele Ashlock is back. He was my preferred target in CFB 25.
Okay.
So, Bows by a million. I don't give a damn about that postulate. Hawaii wins this football game, and everybody's going to see 1-0 Hawaii on national television. Sell out the Ching, put the waves on your screen, and enjoy the first week of college football.
I like it. Boys and girls, you can hear the Carla and Crappy Show in its 14th season on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and a variety of other podcasting hosts, which I should probably double check to make sure those are still working. You should watch us, if you choose, on YouTube and or the show's Facebook page. You can read us on Substack. If you like us, please subscribe, rate, and review. If you don't, mind your own damn business. And be sure to come back next week, not only to see exactly how wrong we were this week, but the slate next week is unreal. AJ, do you have any final thoughts?
I have 3 final thoughts.
3?
2 of them related to Hawaii. I did want to go back, some real-time follow-up.
Yes.
Mike Alahado played against New Mexico and threw a Hawaii stat line went 37 for 57 for 469 and 5 touchdowns. Okay? That is a Hawaii quarterback stat line if we've ever seen one.
It is.
Goes to the moon, number 1. Number 2, according to the frequently asked questions of the new Aloha Stadium economic development website on Hawaii.gov.
Thank you.
We're citing our sources here, okay?
Yeah,
we're journalists.
As we should.
Sort of.
Your journalism faculty member appreciates this.
Yes. Currently, this is updated as of June 2025. They are still forecasting to complete New Aloha Stadium in 2028, aligning with the start of the 2028 University of Hawaii football season when they open with Kansas. Come get some Jayhawks. We're opening a new stadium.
Ooh.
And finally, one thing about week 0 is that FCS football is also on. And this is one of the few times that ESPN picks up a lot of FCS football because they have the ability to. And so you get Incarnate Word at Nichols at 1 p.m., Tarleton State at Portland State on ESPN2 at 4:30, UC Davis at Mercer on ESPN. But the big one that I love is that in week 0 at 7:30 p.m. live from Center Parc Stadium, that's the former Turner Field in Atlanta, you have the HBCU game week 0 game of the year, which is North Carolina Central playing Southern, which means you get the human jukebox on your halftime performance.
Oh boy. Is there a line on which band is favored?
It's Southern. That's not a question.
Yeah, it's not a question.
It's gotta be.
No disrespect to the North Carolina Central Band. I love you, Durham, but this is not. That's Southern. The other part of this is that this is also the game every year where my kids get really excited to watch the bands at halftime. And then for the rest of the year, they go, are they showing the bands at halftime? And the answer is no. And that's because ESPN and the rest of the networks are cowards. Show the bands.
Please do. Please do.
Just do that. Just like I don't need 20 minutes of the same highlights I've seen all day. Just play the bands. Carla, as a band person, how long is a college band's performance? We're talking like
8 minutes.
Yeah,
8 minutes.
I was going to guess 7, but yeah.
Give me an 8-minute segment, drop some highlights in, 8-minute segment, couple more highlights, keep it moving. I don't understand why we're mad about this.
I don't know.
Carry on.
I don't know either.
That was my final thought for the week. Southern Band's amazing. Go look up Human Jukebox highlights on YouTube and discover how insane their band is.
Do that. Carla, final thought from you?
Yes, and I'm still fired up about the band stuff. One, because my nephew is in marching band this year for the first time, and so I'm back. I'm a band aunt, which I'm very excited about. That's a thing, y'all. Okay. Like, band mom, band grandma, band fill in what family member you are is a real thing.
Okay.
So that's exciting, but also because drum corps just wrapped up last weekend. And I don't know if you pay attention to any of that stuff, but it was a lot of fun. I was watching stuff from Grand. They do their Grand Nationals up at Lucas Oil, and it was a battle where remember how we talked about it's tough to beat somebody 3 times in a row?
Yes,
that's literally what happened at drum corps. It was 1-2, then 2-1, then 1-2 for the final. It was great.
Okay. Very nice.
Who won? DCI Blue Devils?
No, Boston Crusaders won for the first time ever.
Heck yeah. Let's go Boston Crusaders. That's the only time I'll ever say let's go Boston. Carry on. Yeah.
They won their first ever gold. And Bluecoats came in second, and it's the 5th year in a row that they finished either first or second. Phantom came in 5th, and Phantom's my regiment. True story, Phantom Regiment warmed up in my parents' driveway when we had a that was the real thing. My senior year of high school, we hosted a drum corps show, and the Phantom Pit was walking down because they blocked off our street to park buses, and they were literally looking for a place to park or to practice. And we had a big sign hang out in our front yard that said "Welcome Drum Corps," and they were like, "Can we borrow your driveway?" And my dad was like, "Yeah." And I missed the whole dang thing because I was drum major that year, and I was in my full dress whites, working with the corps because I had to shake hands as they came off the field.
Okay.
And so I missed the entire thing. And I got it was super cool because I got to shake the hands of all the drum corps and everything.
Yeah.
So I was having the night of my life anyways. And then I get home and find out, did you know Phantom warmed up in our driveway? And I was like, what?
Nice.
So anywho,
some neighborhood in Corey got a show that night.
I did. No, it was crazy. But anywho, so my final thought, other than nerding out over bands, and band camp starts at middle next week, so I'm gonna have drumming outside of my office starting at Monday morning at 8 a.m. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
So a team that I toyed with putting in my top, possibly making the playoff, and I couldn't find enough information to know whether or not that the supporting cast would be there. But as much as a Penn State fan, I hated seeing Bo Pribula transfer. I was thrilled to see him land at Missouri. The college football fan in me is like, that's a fit. That's a fit. And if Bo can get the pieces around him, we know he's a good quarterback. We saw that last year.
Right.
And if he can get the supporting cast around him, is Missouri the this year's Indiana? Maybe. I don't
that could
know.
be. That could
I
be.
couldn't see like all the pieces there for him for that to align. I really wanted to do it, but I was like, no, I can't do it. But keep track of Missouri, and of course, Diego is back.
Yes.
Anchor down, friends. Pay attention to Vandy. We're gonna get Vandy bowling again this year.
We will be
It's
watching
gonna be a
for
fun
sure.
year for football in the in Music City here.
I would also mention Cal as a sleeper team that not that I think they're gonna make the playoff or anything, but because Devin Brown,
Yeah.
who had been a backup at Ohio State, essentially he stayed twice when he could have left, including last season. He stayed with the team through the playoff before announcing a transfer to Cal. Which was a kind of cool thing, and the team, because it was a different situation, he announced his intention to transfer, and the team said yes, we want you here, and because we have that much respect for you. I'm hoping he will have a great season at Cal. I'm hoping he stays healthy, but I will be paying attention to that for sure.
I wish him the best because everybody else left Cal.
I know
They lost
it's rough.
like the entire receiver room, if I recall. Like they don't have a single wide receiver who wore a Cal jersey last year. Not even caught a ball, wore a jersey. So that might be bad. I hope he gets some minutes and some playing time. Also, this is a reminder that Vandy has scheduled Saturday, November 8th. That is Auburn.
Oh,
It's homecoming. So I am very excited for Diego to go 4-0. Do it, Diego. Do it for us.
oh my God!
The scourge of Hugh Freeze.
That's gotta
Get him gone, Diego.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
Goalpost in the river again.
I imagine that is
the goalpost yearn for the seas. Put the goalpost in the river.
that is. I guarantee you that is one we will be talking about when the time comes. My final thought is based on stuff that happened on the internet today. It was announced there's a new Taylor Swift album. People freaked out. People are excited about it, and that prompted a reaction from other people who would suggest that these are not times where you be happy about things. I understand that viewpoint, but guys, find something that makes you happy. Do that all the time. And if it's college football, as it is for me, and for AJ, and for Carla, this is the best time of the year. Let yourself enjoy it. It's okay. This stuff it's stuff that we our souls need to find stuff that brings us joy. And for the three of us, and I presumably for the guys who subscribe, for the folks who subscribe to this show, it is for you as well. And the time is here. It is truly the best time of the year. So dive in with the three of us. It's going to be a fantastic season. Penn State and Ohio State are going to play 3 times. I am convinced of that.
Yep.
I love that this is the one that's probably going to happen 3 times when the shutdown fullcast posited Georgia, Alabama 3 times in a season many moons ago. And it's actually going to be Penn State, Ohio State. The monkey paw curled is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah. So just enjoy that. Also, find joy. And if there's too many things that you're reading that are making you mad, log off. Just log off.
You can do that.
Learn to crochet, bake, do something where your mind is. You have every right to protect your mental health. And if you're taking psychic damage from the things that are on your phone or on your screen while you're scrolling, walk away.
Absolutely.
I promise it will be better for you.
It's going to be okay. And if you're college football people, you have found the right place from now through late January for the 14th year in a row. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for being ready, for being as excited about this stuff as I am. I've been like a small child on Christmas Eve all day, just like I get to talk about college football today. I enjoy the show. I hope you enjoyed the show, because at this point you've already heard the entire show. I hope you enjoy the games this weekend, and please stay with us for the rest of the 14 years of the Carla and Crappy Show. AJ, Carla, it is a pleasure once again. Guys, thank you for being here, and we will talk to you again next week. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Yeah, people, yeah, people.